Okay, so we are kicking off this new Coach Zoom. So you guys are now owners of your business, okay? And this business is not going to give you a perfect life. A lot of people think that, you know, a multi-level marketing business or a home business is going to give you that perfect life. It's not going to give you a perfect life. It will change your life, I assure you, in so many wonderful ways. But if you're expecting perfection, you're going to be really, really let down, okay? So if you want success in this business, you have to act like a business owner. If you just kind of get in and you're just like, I may dabble here and there. I may, you know, do it whenever I feel like it, show up every so often, you know, once a week or once a month or once a year, you know, you're not going to have success in this business. The main thing that will give you success in this business is consistency, okay? So you've got to be disciplined. And that word kind of scares people. I don't want it to scare you by any way, shape, or form. You know, just like you have to be disciplined on your health and fitness journey. You know, if you want to drop 10 pounds, you have to stick to your workouts. You have to eat a certain way or it's not going to happen. If you're going to, you know, you do it for one day, you're not going to see the results, right? It's the same thing with this business. You've got to be consistent, and it's a bunch of little small things that you do each day that add up to a really big thing over time, okay? So I want to start out, and I don't know if you guys know your back office or, you know, if you've ever had an opportunity to go through it. I'm not going to spend a lot of time going through it, but I do want to show you a couple of things. So I'm going to share my screen really fast. And there we go. I hate it because I can't see y'all. Can y'all see my screen? Tell me yes or no. Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so this is your back office, okay? And how you get there is you go to teambeachbody.com, and it's this part right here that's called your dashboard. You're going to log in there and click the sign in button. Here you have a lot. This is where all of your customers can go, like right at the top of this. There's a lot of great information, a lot of tools and stuff that they can use to help them along with their journey, okay? But you as coaches, you're going to sign in, and you're going to go to the coach section, and you're going to go to the part that says Coach Online Office, okay? So this is called your back office. And if you've had a chance to go through it, yay, you are one step ahead. But if you haven't, I want you to go to the part that says Start Here. So it's the far top left corner. You're going to watch Carl. He's a really awesome CEO. And then how to get started. It's going to give you steps on what to do, okay? And it'll give you a site tour. But just real quickly, you know, this big graph in the middle, it talks about our Success Club points, and that's something I'll go over at the very, very end. It tells you your coach ID, so if you ever forget it, it's right here at the top. It took me a couple years to memorize mine. You've got your current rank, so you'll have a lifetime rank, and then you'll have your current rank. It may be the same, it may not be the same, but that tells you where you're at right now. It tells you who your upline sponsor is, who your diamond coach sponsor is, and who your upline star diamond is. I may be your upline star diamond. I may not be. I don't know. You know, you may have a different person, but I've got some really rock star leaders on my team, and you know, but just know that if they're not available, you can always come to me as well, okay? So this little section right over here talks about your volume. Well, volume is something we'll get into as you get into your training. All of your alerts. This tells you if you have a new coach, how many coaches you have in your organization from this week, who's going inactive, you know, if you have any new customers, all that kind of jazz, okay? So that's the first page. So the first thing you're going to do is to start here. It's going to tell you to go to your EFT, all right? That is the thing that you want to do right off the bat. So go over to my business, scroll down to my EFT, because that's how I get paid. You can get paid by a paycheck. We get paid every Thursday, by the way. Every Thursday, they calculate all our commissions and all of our team cycle bonuses and all of the percentages that we get paid on, and they pay it out a week later. So tonight ends our work week, Wednesday night. So tomorrow we'll be able to find out what we'll make for the following week. So we get paid on Thursday. So the week ends tonight. So we'll get paid next Thursday for this week that we're finishing up right now. Okay. So we're a week behind. So if you want to get paid immediately or within that first week, you want to get your EFT done. Okay. All you do is you put in your information for your bank. They'll never take money out. Okay. They'll always put money in, but they'll never take money out. So if you have a week where you've actually lost money, and I've had that happen, I actually had it a couple weeks ago. I lost like $5. And so it just comes out of your next paycheck. It doesn't come out of your bank account. So don't ever worry about that. Okay. So that's super important.
How would you lose money?
Do what?
How would you lose money? Could you explain that?
Yep. If someone sends back their product, you'll get, they'll take that commission. Because so when someone orders from you right off the bat, so like if someone orders from you today, they order the 21-day fix, just the regular program, it's $60 for them. You're going to make 25%. So that's what, $15, right? So you will get paid the $15 next Thursday. Okay. Right. If they send it back, then we have that money back guarantee, that 30-day money back guarantee. So if they send it back, they're like, nah, this is not what I thought it was. Nah. So they're going to send it back. They're going to refund their money and they're going to take the commission from you. They're not going to take it out of your bank account. They'll just take it. So the next time you get paid, they'll take it from that.
Okay.
Okay. So, and it doesn't happen very often, but I mean, it does happen. People send stuff back, or whatever. So it sucks, but it happens. So my business right here, this is kind of where all your bread and butter is. My preferred placement, that's where you're going to place your coaches as you start to add them to your team. And this is not something that you need to know right now. It's something that you'll learn along the way. Okay. So that's what this business is about. A lot of people think that they have to know everything right off the bat. Not true. Just jump in and figure it out along the way. Okay. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to say the wrong things. And it's not necessarily the wrong thing, or it's not necessarily a mistake. It just may not be the right thing to say to that person. Okay. So just remember that you're not really going to make mistakes in this business. You might do some things that could be done better and more efficiently, or said better to fit that person's personality. You just can't make mistakes. So get over that fear of failure in this business. That's the number one thing that most people are afraid of. Okay. And just go for it. There are a lot of things that you're going to figure out along the way, because there is so much information to learn, and there is no way that you can learn it all right now. In fact, I still learn, and I've been in this business 7 years. Okay. So once again, the preferred placement, that's something that you'll learn as you begin to add coaches to your team. My downline, this is where you can kind of see the graphical genealogy. You can see everybody that's in your organization. If you just signed up, then you probably will only have like maybe you or maybe your spouse, or maybe one other person, or maybe even a couple of people, but that will grow. I have 678 people in my downline. So I make money off of all 6,670 people, which is kind of awesome. Okay. So when you see people pop up in your organization, you're like, whoa, where'd that person come from? Get excited, because that's somebody that you didn't have to work for, that is now in your organization, that will now contribute to your paycheck. Okay. You can find coaches in your organization. You can find the sponsorship drill down is where you will find all of your personally sponsored coaches and their coaches and their coaches, and it goes 5 levels down. Okay. Your orders, you will be able to find your personal orders and your customer orders right here. Your commissions. Okay. So your earnings, when you click on that, that is real paid time. So when you actually earn that money and it's deposited into your bank account, it will show what you earned. My commissions, where you go, my weekly commissions will show you what you make for the following week, okay? So tomorrow morning, the very first thing I do, or every Thursday morning actually, the very first thing I do is I go into my back office, I look at all my business centers, and I click commissions, and I see what I'm gonna get paid the next week, okay? So it's not paid that day, it's paid 1 week later. My forms and documents, that's just some things that you can go through. Like if you have to get a challenge pack reimbursement or, that you can go through that. Again, that's not something you have to learn right now. It's something that you can learn along the way. News and training. Okay, so this is vital. And I can tell you the coaches that have taken the initiative and gone in and just go for it are the ones that are successful. This training library right here is absolutely amazing. And I'm going to tell you guys, I did not have this. I didn't have anything when I got started as a coach. I had to jump in and figure it out along the way. We had no training. We didn't have this back office. We didn't have anything. And, I'm very successful. So you have all of this at your fingertips. So my advice is to take advantage of it. Do you have to go through it all at one night? Absolutely not. But, spend some time going through this training and learning, getting started. It tells you what to do. Then you're a coach. So you're all a coach right now. How do you get to the next level and what should you be doing? Then the next level, what you should be doing and all that kind of stuff. Okay. This training library over here on the left-hand side, that has so many tools that you guys can use. Your business trackers. If you are going to run a challenge group and you're like, oh my gosh, I have no clue what I'm going to say to these people, guess what? You can click on that and it will tell you, and it will give you specific posts every single day of your challenge group if you want to do that, okay? The Coach Basics program, so a lot of us have taken this program and condensed it down into like a 10-day training or whatever. This is amazing. It's everything that you need to know to be successful as a coach. You want to learn how to earn money? Go through the compensation. You want to learn how to get to diamond? Go through the Emerald to Diamond program. If you want to know how to find new people and attract customers, here's a whole section on that. Follow-ups. I'm going to talk about follow-ups just briefly tonight. Here's a whole section on that. Getting started. For all of you new coaches, this is a great area to get started. Inviting, that's the thing that's so freaking scary. I'm going to talk about that tonight as well. So here's a lot of information there. I mean, as you can see, it's pretty freaking awesome. And so my advice is to go through it. The second thing I want to show you is the breaking news. Every week they come out with stuff that you kind of need to know. Okay, so check those out. Just check in every so often. It may pertain to you, it may not. Okay. The third thing on your back office, your video library, is in English and in Spanish. This is great tools, you guys. I still use the video library because these are professionals that are talking about whatever it is that we're talking about, and they say it a lot better than I do, and they say it with a lot more proficiency. Like I tend to over talk things, and I think we all will as new coaches. So this gets right to the point. It's professional and it gets the job done. So all you do is share whatever video, whatever you want to go through them over here, share it, copy the link and send it in an email and message, however you want to work it. But that is the beauty of this video library. It kind of does the work for you. Okay. So I'm going to stop my screen share now. How do I get back? Nope. Okay, I don't know. I'm not real smart when it comes to this kind of stuff. Okay, so that's kind of your back office, okay? So how you choose to work your business is totally up to you. You own your own business. So you can work it through social media, or you can work it face-to-face, or you can do a little bit of both, okay? It doesn't matter. Don't feel like you have to be pressured to work social media if that's not your style. If you're like, oh my gosh, I'm freaked out to talk to people, don't worry about talking to people then. Do it on social media and hide behind your little computer screen. That is totally fine. There are a ton of introverts on this team that have built a huge successful business without talking a lot of face-to-face, okay? So, just kind of figure out how you tick and work your business however you want to. Okay, so there are 6 things that I'm going to go over tonight really, really quickly. The first one is goals. So if you don't know what you want, it's going to be really difficult to go after it, to achieve it, okay? So a lot of times when I talk to my personally sponsored coaches, I say, what is it that you want? What are your goals with this business? And they have no clue, and that's totally fine. Absolutely okay. So let me give you some ideas on how I first started. So when I started this business, I was just, I wasn't even working it as a business. I did it to lose weight. I was having my 4th kid and, gained 65 pounds all 4 times, and this last time I was 35 when I had her. So it's a lot harder to get off. So anyway, so that's why I joined to be as a coach. I am a fitness instructor as well, but I couldn't take her to the gym until she was 6 months old. Okay. So I needed to have, and yes, I could make up my own programs and I would do that, but I suck at doing that on my own. I can do that with everybody else, but I can't do it on my own. So that's why I became coach. So I made back my money. Like we didn't have challenge groups. We didn't have Shakeology. We didn't have any of that when I started. So I sold a couple of Turbo Jams, which was $15, my commission. Turbo Jam, it was the home version of Turbo Kick, which is what I teach at the gym. I teach Turbo Kick Live. And so all my members were like, hey, I travel. I'm a flight attendant. I want to do your classes, but like in my hotel room. I'm like, well, here you go. This is a great opportunity. And one of my really good friends is modifier. So Mindy Lawhorn. So I'm like, you'll love her. And so that's how I made back my $40. I just sold a couple programs. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so easy. All I was doing was sharing what I was doing at home with these people. And so the bug kind of kicked in. I'm like, oh, I didn't know I could make money in this business. And so my first goal, and I'm not even kidding you, was to be able to go to Target without my husband going, Heather, why did you spend money? Da, da, da. And just beating me down when I walked in the door. That was my number one goal. My second goal, once I was like, oh, wow, I made $100. I'm going to go to Target and I'm going to spend it because that was one of my favorite stores at the time. So, happy. My second goal was to get a house cleaner once a week because I hate cleaning house. And so, these are very small, little tiny ones. My third goal was to buy boobs. I breastfed 4 kids. And they were very sad, and I'm not having any more children. So that was a big goal for me to buy boobs. Not even lying. And then, you can kind of see the progression. And then I can't even remember, 2011 or 2012, I wanted to retire my husband. So that was a big goal. And in order for me to retire him, I had to double his income. And he made a lot of money. He was averaging about 150 grand a year. So I had to double that in order for him to retire. Okay. So I set that goal to make that much money per year so that he would retire before he turned 40. 2014, April 1st, my husband retired one day before he turned 40. So, when you set goals and when you know what you want, they become very, very powerful. And especially if you share that, okay? So goal setting is very, very important. So think about what you want. And it may be super small, like you just want to go to Target. You just want to, be able to go out to eat, whereas maybe it's a little tight. That was my thing. I couldn't just go spend money anytime I wanted to because we were poor at that time. And so, or they could be ginormous, where you want to quit your job and, travel the world. Who knows? So that's very important. Okay, the second thing, set business hours. And stick to them. Set business hours and stick to them. You're going to have a really hard time building this business if you do not. Okay? If you're going to fly by the seat of your pants, can it be done? Absolutely, it can be done. But it's going to be hard. All right? And it's not the norm. So every day or every Sunday, I kind of look at my week and I figure out, when are my work hours? I don't want to work 40 hours a week. I did not do this to have a full-time job. I want to work 15 and be done. Okay. And so I look at my schedule and I figure out, all right, the kid's got a dentist appointment. I've got this, I've got my workouts, I've got this and this and this. So when can I work? So if you're just starting out, my advice is to do an hour. Like find a power hour of some sort. And it can be broken up into 2 or 3 different times, like, 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the evening. Or maybe you have an hour lunch break where you can just, focus. Maybe you can just get on in an hour at, once your kids go to bed. Who knows? It all depends on you and your schedule. But you want to try to commit to an hour a week. If you can commit to 2 hours a week, you're going to blow the business up. I'll just tell you that. But an hour a week will get you started really, really nicely. And you'll be able to get in everything that you need to get done and build the business. Okay? So find your hours. Stick to them, and pretend that this is a job. I know that the gratification isn't instant. It will take a little bit to build a business. It's not going to happen overnight. But if you can visualize 2 years from now, 3 years from now, and you're, making a 6-figure income, all because you were dedicated for just a little bit of time each day, would that be worth it? By the end of the year, you could make 6 figures. You could make 50 grand a year. You could make 25. I just feel like all of that is very significant in life right now. 25 grand in addition to what you're doing right now is huge. That's like a freaking awesome savings account. So, so think long-term. Don't think right now. Think long-term and be consistent. And I promise you, your efforts will pay off. Okay. Time. You're going to get this a lot. And you may even go, I don't have time. I don't have time to do my workout. I don't have time to do my Beachbody business. You do have time. You do. It's just a matter of if you're choosing to do it or not. Okay. You're choosing something else over this, or you're choosing something else over your workout. It's a matter of priorities. We all have the same amount of time. And so I choose to do this, to make my life designed the way I want it to be, instead of, fiddling around and watching TV all day, every day, or playing computer games, or, whatever, so we all have a choice. So keep that in mind, and don't be afraid to tell other people that too. Because you're going to get some pushback, especially as you run your challenge groups. You're going to get a lot of pushback and, I don't have time to work out, blah, 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 blah. Yes, you do. You're choosing not to do it. You can get up 30 minutes earlier and do a 22-minute workout. It may not be fun, but you can do it. Okay? All right. So treat this like a business. Treat it like a job. And I promise you'll be successful. Number 3. Go to live events and attend and be engaged. Okay, so be engaged in your team page. Offer information. Ask questions. Like a give and take in your team page. The more you give, I promise, the more you're going to receive, and that's in everything in life. And just show up to team calls if at all possible. Be engaged as much as you can. Live events. We have, we're not this company that has a meeting every single week. Come to this meeting and invite people. We're not that person. We're not that company. And I can tell you that all of your coaches are not those people. That's probably why you joined them. But we do have a quarterly meeting, and you will find one close to you within a couple of hours. Try to get there. Make it a road trip if you have to. But, it's about 2 to 3 hours once a quarter. Okay? We have 1 month or 1 yearly big event called Summit. Earn your Summit ticket. I'm going to talk to you how to do that. And let me see how to mute her. if you can get to Summit, absolutely go for it. It'll change your life. That is the event that absolutely changed my life, was Summit. I went to Summit 1 year after I signed up, and that is when my business took off. Okay. So just to kind of give you, I don't know if you guys are money driven. I am very financially driven. That is like, I mean, yes, I help people. I've helped people for 17 years for free as a group fitness instructor and a personal trainer and, all that. So my heart is absolutely there, but this is my business and it pays my family's bills. And so I treat it like that. So I'm financially driven. So my first year as a coach, I made $3,000. Hey, I made that my $40. So I was way in the profit. But when I attended Summit, I took from that moment for the next 6 months and increased my income to $25,000. And every year, and then I've doubled it every single year. And this last year, I've made $1 million. That's not bragging. That's just saying, okay, this is what I've done consistently. And it's taken me 7 years to get there. It didn't happen in 1 year, I promise. 7 years. But the thing is how cool is that, So think about it. Events are huge. I don't know if you guys have ever gone to church camp. I grew up in a Baptist church, and I went to church camp and weekend revivals and Disciple Nows my entire life. And so if you've ever been to a camp like that, like you go and you leave with this ultimate high, like you are on cloud 9 and you're like, I'm living my life the rest of my life like this. And you're so excited and you're telling everybody. And then literally 1 month later, you are back to square one. Like you just go, and then you go to another event. You're like, whoa, I'm back on track. And then you drop and woo. I mean, it's kind of like this cycle thing. That's what events do to you. Yes, I'm a Baptist and I drink wine. Don't tell anybody. So get to events if you can, okay? All right, number 4, do the vital behaviors. So I'm going to spend a little bit more time here. You will also go through your vital behaviors in your new coach training, okay? And it's also in the back office, and there's so many tools and all that, but I'm just going to kind of touch on a few of them. I'm going to start with recognition. Recognition is our brand new vital behavior. We just added it in April, okay? So we had 3 vital behaviors, and we added a 4th, recognition. And because we feel like recognition is really important. Now, is it important to everybody? No, it's not. I am not driven by recognition. I'm driven by my goals, whatever. But you will have people on your team that absolutely crave that recognition. Like that is what my success partner, she loves recognition. Like she likes to be on stage, and she likes to be applauded, and she likes that plaque. I mean, she loves it all. And I'm like, oh, no, thank you. But you're going to have a little bit of both. But it's really important to recognize anything and everything. So like your challengers that are doing really good in your challenge groups, give them a huge shout out. It builds confidence in you and in them. It makes people feel good. When you do get recognized, even if you aren't that person that's driven by that, it still makes you feel good. Okay. So, do that. Like recognize people on your team for just being awesome. Recognize people in your neighborhood, on the PTA, recognize your coaches. Get in a habit of recognizing people weekly. Okay. Because a lot of people, they just don't they just don't get recognized enough. And so when you never get that shout out and you kind of want it, that will make or break somebody. And when people see that you are that person that is, just lifting other people up and making them feel good, they're going to be naturally attracted to you, and they're going to want to be on your team. They're going to want to do business with you, or they're going to want to be in your life. Okay? So recognition is super important. So, don't just get stuck in, I've just only got to recognize for, business things. Recognize for anything and everything. All right. So the first vital behavior is be a product of the product. Okay. And, some people think this is important. Some people don't, but it really is. The number one reason why being a product of the product is important is because it gives you as a business owner credibility. Okay? It will give you confidence because you actually know that our business is legit. You know that we're not in it just to make a buck. You know that we're in it to truly help people, okay? But we can also build a thriving income by doing just that. By being a product of the product, you believe in the products, so you know they work. So you're going to feel comfortable talking to other people about that and sharing your journey with them, okay? When you believe in the product and when you believe in the company, then you're going to actually believe in the value. You know, there are a lot of things out there, and I'm not talking about just other companies, but there's a lot of products out there. You know, you can go to Walmart and it's just not, it's not worth 5 cents, you know, but yet they're charging like $5. And you're like, wow, that's such junk. I don't want to spend my money on that. So when you are a product of the product, you know the value. And therefore, when it has value, you're able to talk to other people about it, okay? Another thing is in this business, we are a relationship business. Some multi-level marketing companies are, and in fact, a lot of them aren't. They're just very product driven. Not bad at all. Like they've got great products. But our business, I mean, when you think about it, losing weight, that's a very personal, touchy subject for a lot of people, right? So you have, I mean, our business is built on relationships. So people are going to trust you if they feel comfortable with you, and they're going to do business with you if they trust you and feel comfortable with you, okay? And so when you are a product of the product, you're able to share your story. You're able to share each other's stories. So now you've got like 8 people, or I don't even know how many are on here now, but you know, you've got enough people that you can share all of these stories because we all have a story, you know, and it's the stories that are going to sell, not the facts. Like you can fact people to death, and they're going to be like, no, thank you. But when you share really personal stories of triumphs and struggles and the things that people have overcome through their journey, you know, whether it's with their fitness and health or whether it's through financial, that makes a big difference, okay? So one of the things that I want you to do, I want you to think about 3 products or services that you're using right now with our business, okay? So think about it. You as a new coach, what are you doing? Are you doing a program? Are you drinking Shakeology? Are you doing the Energize? I mean, are you, whatever it is, what are you doing? And then, you know, the service, like what the reason you became a coach, like what did your coach do for you? You know, and like whatever that is, or maybe you're providing a service to people. And I want you to write down those 3 things and then write down how they have changed something in your life, okay? So don't just say, it makes me feel better. I drink Shakeology because it makes me feel better. Because it's really hard to talk to somebody about feeling better, okay? So they need to be measurable, like the things that you write down, the changes that you felt or that you've noticed in your life, they need to be measurable. So, you know, and they need to be measurable by a third party. Okay, so, you know, I am doing the 21-day fix and I'm drinking Shakeology, and from that I have more energy throughout the day, whereas I was feeling really sluggish like at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Now I have that sustained energy. I don't need to take a nap. You know, I go poop like every day, whereas I didn't. I mean, that's a big problem, people. You know, I have lost 10 pounds in 21 days. By the way, that's the average weight loss for women. 10 pounds in 21 days, the 21-day fix, which is pretty awesome. And it's not going to come back. You know, I mean, you guys get it. So it needs to be measurable. Okay. So any questions on the first 2 vital behaviors, recognition and be a product of the product? Again, in your training, you'll go over this more. All right, so the third thing is the second vital behavior is called personal development. And this is the one that everybody tends to blow off, me included. And let me just tell you, When I am consistently doing personal development, my business rocks. Like it is growing and moving forward. When I am not doing personal development, it stays where it's at, or it even goes backwards. It does not move, okay? And being in it 7 years, I can tell you that this is vital. We've got to become more before we can achieve, okay? You have to become before you can achieve it. And, and I'm going to tell you, if you're not growing yourself, nobody can sustain the business. Absolutely not. Again, this is a relationship business, and this is a product business, and this is, multifaceted businesses. So you have, got an itch. You cannot sustain it if you're not learning and growing you. Okay? You need to grow as a leader. You need to grow as a communicator. You need to grow as being a better person. You need to grow in sales. Like if you're not sure how to sell or close the deal or whatever, because yes, we do sell. We do more sharing, and I'm going to talk about the inviting in a second. But, you still have to learn how to close that deal, okay, to get people to jump and take that next step to change their life. If you don't know how to do that, you've got to learn how to do that. You got to get better. If you are the person that's an introvert and you really, really struggle with people, how do you deal with others? If you've got a strong personality, how do you deal with somebody that doesn't? And like, whoa, you got to learn. And here's the thing. All of you signed up with a coach for a reason, okay? And, all of us, we all work together. We're all going to help you. But if you don't acquire the knowledge, we can't help you with the application of whatever it is you're trying to do. Okay? So you have to learn the skill, and then we can help you with how to apply it to our business, if that makes any sense at all. Okay? So with personal development, they recommend 10 pages a day or 20 minutes. So, 10 pages a day, that's not a lot. 20 minutes of audio, if you're in one of my brand new coaches, she is in the car for 2 hours almost every day. And I'm like, oh my Lanta, that would just stink. But that's a perfect opportunity for her to listen to this personal development. Instead of listening to talk radio or something like that, she could take 20 to 30 minutes and actually feed her mind to make herself or her business better, or her family, or whatever else. Okay. Now, as far as reading, so I've had a lot of thoughts. We say 10 pages, 20 to 30 minutes, whatever. I feel like, I'm trying to see if I can mute. There we go. I feel like if you can only get in 2 minutes a day, or two pages a day, say that 2 pages, but you got a lot from that 2 pages, you're like, whoa, that was killer, and I feel really good, then awesome, be done with that. You know what I mean? But, just I judge this based on you personally and what you need and what you're getting. So a couple of things that you can do to get your personal development in. GoPro is awesome. Highly recommend that book or audio. GoPro with an exclamation point. It's by Eric Worre. I send it out all to my personally sponsored coaches. I'm pretty sure your coaches do the same thing. The second book or audio is called Jab, 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 Right Hook. And it's by Gary Vaynerchuk. This is all about social media. Everybody's got to read this one or listen to it. He's humorous. He does cuss, but if you can look over like that, then you're good. But this is a social media guru, and he's actually going to be our guest speaker at Summit this year in July. So at the big convention, Gary Vaynerchuk is going to be there. He's going to be the edited Gary Vaynerchuk, but he's going to be there. So highly recommend Jab, 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 Right Hook. Okay. You can also go to YouTube for free and listen to John Maxwell, Brian Tracy, Eric Worre. You can Tony Robbins. You can listen to all their stuff. Gary Vaynerchuk. You can search Beachbody invite Beachbody challenge groups, Beachbody, blah, 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 whatever. Anything you want to know, it's on YouTube. Okay. So your personal development is out there for free, or you can, buy it through Amazon, or you can rent it at your library, but it's a non-negotiable. Okay. And it's going to be the one thing that you're going to go, I don't need that, but you really do. And I wish you would ask me on this one. Okay. So the second vital behavior is inviting. And this is the thing that everybody gets so scared at. Like, oh my gosh, I got to talk to people and invite them to try product and join my challenge group. It's really not. So let me just kind of give you some benchmarks. So as a new coach, your goal is to get 3 new challengers a month. Okay? So 3 people to join a challenge group. That should be every single month. That's a great goal. If it doesn't happen, is it okay? Of course it is. Of course. But that needs to be one of your goals, okay? And I'm going to talk about Success Club here in just a little bit, but that's definitely a great benchmark. Adding 1 new coach to your team every month, okay? That's a great, or more. More is definitely better, but at least 1. If you're not adding at least 1, that would be something I would definitely go look at as far as your personal development and recruiting, okay, on how to build your team. You need to be exposing like 90 to 100 people to your invites or messages. So like, starting conversations and things like that. Okay, so 90 to 100 over 3 months, let's say. Not necessarily all in 1 month. So basically, you're going to be inviting 2 people a day. That's the average. Do you do it every day? Probably not, but an average of 2 a day, okay? And you're going to add 3 to 5 new people a day to your network. So brand new people, okay? So this, and what I mean by that, so that's like 15 to 20 a week. I'm just going like through a Monday through Friday kind of thing. So this business isn't about who you know right now. It's about who you meet. Okay. Everybody is so terrified about selling to their friends and family. They're like, I don't want to be that person. I know you've experienced it. People get into a business and they're like, buy my product. Here's my link. And they just beat you down over and over again. And no, we don't want to be that person. Okay. So, you'll talk to your warm market. That's what they're called, your friends and family, but you're not going to beat them down and try to convince them to join you or buy what it is you have to offer. Okay. They're going to come to you. I promise you, but they're going to be the hardest ones. They're going to wait. My best friends, dang it. Stephanie Roberts waited 9 months to join my team. Christy Jones waited 9 months to join my team. Natalie is now one of my best friends because of this business, but I didn't know her before, which is awesome. But she had to, kind of figure it out. But the closest people took a long time to join my team. These are my best friends. Okay. But it's about who you meet along the process. That is what's going to grow your business by leaps and bounds. It's going to make it huge. All right. So if you're just going to depend on the people that you know, well, you're going to get stuck. Okay. After 7 years, I am still adding people to my network. Because I taxed my friends and family a long time ago. Okay. So when it comes to inviting, there are 5 rules. Number 1, you need to have 1 or 2 social media platforms that you focus on. Okay. If you want to do more, if you're proficient at more, then go for it. But, I'm a Facebook girl and I'm trying to get on board with Instagram. I don't understand it, but a lot of people are. There are so many very successful coaches that have built on Instagram. Some people are Twitter. Some people, I'm trying to get into Pinterest because I love Pinterest. Find 2 platforms that you focus on and really learn those. Okay. With those 2 platforms, this is number 2, you need to have continuity across the board. Kind of the same vibe, the same profile picture, the same, wording, that kind of stuff. Okay. Because if you are connecting the 2, especially like Instagram and Facebook, they want to, you want to be able to merge them to one or the other. Okay? Not necessarily, but that's a great way. Number 3, you need to have a life. This business is about who you are and who you're becoming. Okay? So, your interests, your loves, like things you love, your family, fitness, your, faith, your fur babies, whatever. If you love sewing and archery and horseback riding and I don't know, whatever it is, have a life and share that with people. Okay? If you're all just business, everybody's going to run the other way. Okay? And we want to attract like-minded people like us, like you. Okay? That's the people that you want to attract. You don't want to attract someone completely different because you're going to have a hard time connecting. So, people with common interests, and I'm taking my 2 top coaches on a trip next month. Well, I'm going to spend 5 freaking days with them. So I like them, I want to have common interests with them. So, you'll get to that point where you're spending a lot of time with your team. So you want to like them and you want to enjoy it. Okay. Number 4, on social media, you want to make sure that hold on, let me see if I can mute her. No. On social media, you want to make sure you have a point. Okay. And we call it the so what rule. So think about it. Think about if you read somebody else's post, you're like, so what? Like, I don't care. People do that. Okay. So have a point to whatever it is you're posting. It doesn't have to be business, but have a point. Try to add value to somebody's life, whether it's an inspiration, a motivation, or something like that, or, or if they're learning something, you're sharing something, I don't know. But just would I say so what on this post, okay? Because that kind of keeps me on track. Every so often you'll have something that is a so what, and that'll probably be your most popular post ever. But if it's a lot of so whats, people aren't going to tune into you. And number 5, the absolute most important is be consistent. If you are not consistent, you will not build a business. You will not get in shape. You will not be the healthiest person you're going to be, and you're not going to build a business, okay? So just a little bit more on inviting. I'm almost done. Most coaches look at inviting backwards, okay? So inviting isn't trying to convince someone to do something that they really don't want to do, like join your team, or to buy something that they really don't want to buy or don't need, okay? That's not what this business is about. That's not what inviting is. Inviting is connecting in such a way that you are meeting the needs and wants of the person that you're talking to, okay? So it's really important to build a relationship. So an invite it's a personal invitation for that person to make a decision. That's what inviting is, okay? And if you have not built a relationship with someone, then they're not going to make a decision in your favor, okay? So really think about that. So go through the news and training, go through that section on inviting and following up. You're going to learn a lot, and pay attention in your new coach training, because it's super important. I've had horrible invites, and I've had to go back and go, so I screwed up by, just, putting it out there. It was when I first started, and that's totally fine. People respect that, but avoid that mistake of just throwing it all out there. Build a relationship first. Following up is where the fortune is. If you don't follow up with the people that you invited, and inviting means you can invite them to join your business. You can invite them to, a free 5-day clean eating challenge, a push-up challenge. You can invite them to try Shakeology. You can invite them to try a program, or invite them to do a challenge pack. There's so many ways to invite, okay? So if you don't follow up with these people, they're going to go somewhere else, because you've already planted the seed. And they're going to go, when the time is right for them, they're going to go, oh, yep, I need to do max 30. Insanity max 30. I need to do that. I've seen blah, 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 blah. I have great results. So they're going to go online and they're going to buy it and they're going to be assigned another coach. Okay. So following up is where you're going to overcome concerns and objections, and following up is where you're going to build trust. Okay. And trust is huge. So just remember that there's a big difference between understanding someone's goals and someone's needs. So I want you to be the coach that takes someone, they have these goals of I want to lose, 15 pounds, to I need to lose 15 pounds because if I don't, I'm going to have a heart attack. You know what I mean? Like there's a want versus a need. And maybe it's probably not 15 pounds, but it's, more like 50. But you know what I mean? Like there's a big difference. And that's where real change happens, when someone realizes that they need to do something, not just that they want to do something. Okay. And when they need to do something, that's when they're ready to commit to you. And you're the path that gets them from there to there. Okay. So, again, this business is life changing, and we really do change people's lives. And we don't try to just sell someone something to help them lose weight. There's a million products out there that'll do that for them. They're quick fixes, but we really are in the business of life change, because it's a lifestyle. It's something that they're going to sustain for the rest of their life. We really encourage personal development. That's life changing. It's going to affect their marriage in a positive way. It's going to affect their children's lives in a positive way. It's going to affect the relationship that they have with their boss at work. Like I'm telling you, this is not just a product-driven business. We have products and we sell products. But in the process, we build these amazing relationships with people, and we truly all together try to get to a better place. Every day we're trying to be better than we were yesterday. All right? So don't be afraid to invite. Just know that, as you get to know someone, you're going to change their life. And if they're not ready to do that, that's okay. They're going to tell you no. And that no does not mean no. That just means that they're not ready to commit. But they're going to come back to you as long as you're genuine and you're heartfelt and you follow up with them over and over and over again and say, I haven't stopped thinking about you. I know it hasn't been right for you in the past, but maybe this month is, and they're going to appreciate the fact that you never gave up on them. So that's it on the vital behaviors. Are we good? Okay, so 5 more minutes. So I don't know if your personality is like this or not, but a lot of people are. They like to check things off. And if you're a list checker, then you're going to be like, oh, okay. So there is a business activity tracker in your back office. There's also some really good ones that our team has designed. So if you're a list checker offer, you need to get yourself a business activity tracker, because that's going to make you feel really accomplished, okay? If you're not that person, you need to get yourself a business activity tracker so that you can become that person, okay? So when you have a list of things, you're like, okay, done, 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 done. You can go to bed at night knowing I did everything I needed to do to move my business forward. And if I did that today, and if I do it tomorrow, and if I do it on Friday, if I do it on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm going to see the results in 30 to 45 days. Okay, I'm going to see the fact that happened. Okay, so get yourself a business activity tracker. So there are things called benchmarks, and are they the most important thing on the planet? Absolutely not. But one of our benchmarks is called Success Club. You're going to hear it over and over and over and over and over again, like 1,000,001 times. Success Club is just a benchmark. Success Club means that we have helped 3 people every single month get started with a challenge pack, okay? Whether they become a coach or whether they're a customer, either way, it's just 3 people with a challenge pack. And what that does, I know deep down that if somebody gets a challenge pack from me, their life is going to change. They are going to achieve their health and fitness goals, because I'm going to make damn sure that they do. I'm going to be on them, and I'm going to, make sure that I hold their feet to the fire so that they achieve their goals. So they're going to get the monies, their investment, they're going to give that back tenfold. I know that I have an opportunity that they can not only hold themselves accountable forever and ever, but they can help other people do it too. That's the business opportunity. Okay. So that's kind of our benchmark for Success Club. And it's 3 people. For me, it's a non-negotiable. I'm like 46 months in of every single month hitting it. Is it hard some months? Heck, yes, it is. Like there are months where I'm like, the very last day, May 31st at freaking 8 o'clock at night, and I'm like sweating bullets. And, and I've reached out and followed up 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 with people. And that one person said, I'm ready. And I hit it. Okay. So for me, it's a non-negotiable. For all of the coaches that are successful, Natalie and Stephanie and Christy and Kimberly and Megan and, all these people, it's a non-negotiable. We hit it no matter what. And we try to do it first, like at the beginning of the month, so we're not stressed out at the end. So that is one of the benchmarks that you need to just get in the habit of doing every month. As a new coach, there's something called Success Starters. When you hit Success Club your very first month, and then the second month, and then the third month, you get a free ticket to Summit. Summit is in Nashville. It's in July. It's awesome. You're going to have a blast while you do it. And you're going to learn a ton of information, and you get a free ticket, okay? Hotel rooms, you can get your own, or we can pile you in like with another group of 3 women, and you get to know some really good friends. You all become best friends. And anyway, it's kind of a big party. It's fun, but, it's definitely worth it. So Success Starters, Success Club, put that on your list. The next thing is Emerald. Emerald is so, so important, you guys. Emerald is our first rank advancement where you go from coach to Emerald. And that's where you sign 2 people up that are active. When that happens, that opens up a whole world of opportunity, okay? As a regular coach, the only way that you can make an income is through sales, through commissions, okay? Can you do that forever? Of course you can. You are not required to do anything. You don't even have to sell if you don't want to. You're not required. But, it does get exhausting if you're trying to say, save for retirement or save for a vacation. You want to take your kids to Disney World, and it's like, a Disney cruise. It's like $13,000 for my family. Holy moly, that would get exhausting to try to sell that much product, right? Well, as an Emerald, you start to build a team, and that's where you begin to make money off of what everybody else is doing. So everybody's doing their part. That's network marketing. It's not a pyramid. It's legit, okay? There are people that make more than me that signed up after me. And, if it was a scam, they wouldn't be able to do that. But Emerald is where, you can make up to $250 a week. That's $1,000 a month. That's legitimate. That's a nice extra income. Plus you make your commissions on top of that. The next rank advancement will be Diamond. And let me just tell you the difference. Diamond is kind of where it gets serious. You can make up to $2,000 a week as a diamond. Okay, so that's $100,000 a year. That is awesome. So my advice is just get in that mode. This is what I'm going to do. This is like that benchmark. I'm going to hit Success Club, and then I'm going to hit Emerald, and then I'm going for Diamond, baby. The next one is a 2-star diamond. That's where you have 2 diamonds. Like you've got coaches and then you have 2 diamonds. Like you help these people build a legitimate business. So exciting. And at that point, that's where you make approximately $50,000 to $100,000 a year, 50 grand ish. That's about average. That's about 2. And that, can you make more than that? Yeah, you can make up to $4,000 a week, of course. But the average coach that is a 2-star makes about 50 grand to 100 grand a year. Okay. And the reason is because you can open up another business. So if you go Emerald by signing your spouse, hint, hint, if you don't have a spouse, sign your best friend. You want the people closest to you at the top of your organization. You can build your business. You can build your spouse's business. Okay, so that's 2 incomes coming in. And then once you hit 2-star, you can open up another one. And that's another business that you are in control of. And all 3 of these businesses contribute to your weekly paycheck. So I've got 4. So I have 4 businesses that I make money on every single week, which is kind of awesome, you know? So again, think long-term, don't think short-term, because it's not going to happen tomorrow. But, you know, make these goals, make these benchmarks and say, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to commit to hitting Success Club every month. I'm going to sign at least 1 coach every month. You know, I'm going to get to Emerald and I'm going to get to Diamond, and then I'm just going to start building my paycheck. And that is something, you guys, that I know how to do. So that we've got some amazing recruiters on our team, the people that can teach you how to recruit. I'm not one of those, but I can tell you how to build a paycheck. So we all have our gifts, we all have our talents, and we all work together as a team to help everyone become as successful as they want to be. Okay, so that's all I got for you. What questions do you have for me?
To be an active coach, that's 50 PV a month?
It is. It's 50 PV. So, and you know what? And there are some, you know, most of the time the products, it's like dollar per point kind of thing, 50 points, but not always. Like there are some products that are like less money, like they may cost you like $40, but it's still 50 PV. Yeah. So. And it's every 5 weeks. It's not every month. It's every 5 weeks.
How do you find out when that starts and ends?
Okay. So in your back office, under the top where my business, I'll just screen share real fast. It's a great question. Okay, so under my business, so you're going to go over to sponsorship drill down. So if you're looking at you can tell right here. Like under volume, you'll click this little orange button. Well, okay, maybe not. Okay, well, you can tell right here. So it'll tell you under projected PV, that is how many volume you have for 5 weeks time. Okay. And that number changes every week based on, you know, what you have coming in and if you've ordered anything and all that kind of jazz. So, and it's all based on, you know, whether you, if you purchase or if somebody else purchases or a little bit of both, and, you know, it can come from anywhere. And if you have coaches on your team that you're kind of looking to see if they're active, it's under the My Business section at the very top. You'll go to, my downline. So it's like the second one down, my downline, and then sponsorship drill down. And that'll bring up everybody. And you can see all of your coaches and their coaches and their coaches. So when you rank advance, that becomes really important. Again, that's one of those things that you just learn as you go. But it shows all 5 weeks and it has, you know, whatever's been ordered, whatever week. Okay. Great question. Anybody else?
One of my coaches, she's getting people excited about the product. They're happy. She's happy. She's ready to close the deal. But when she gets to the price, they shy away. Like this girl even takes before pictures and measurements and helps them because they're close friends and family. But once they talk about the price, they kind of just like, okay, well, I'll let you know.
Okay. Well, so what that means is that she hasn't provided enough value to that person. Like they don't find, you know, to pay $140, just say for a challenge, like Insanity Max 30 challenge pack is on sale this month. So she hasn't provided the value. So they're scared of investing that much money because she hasn't done a good enough job of sharing, you know, with them what is going to happen with them. They don't feel confident that she's going to deliver probably on, you know, to justify the money. So what needs to happen, you know, she can talk about the money back guarantee. You know, again, you don't want to convince somebody. You like, and honestly, when it comes to friends and family, like my family, they were the hardest headed. Oh my word. Like, I just want to slam their head in a door, you know, because they're my family. But, you know, I'm finally like, well, you know what? If you, and I would not say this to just a stranger, but if it's my sister, just say, I would be like, well, you know what? You can stay 20 pounds overweight. I'm going to drop it with this. I've already lost this, and I'm going to continue on my journey. You can stay where you're at. When you're ready to finally commit, you know where I'm at. You know, I mean, I would be really, but again, that's my personality. That's my bluntness. You know, and I think that if you're with family, you can probably say that more than you can, you know, a regular person. If it's a normal person that I'm just talking to, I would find out what their hesitations are. I would say, you know, what are you skeptical about? You know, what are you concerned about? You know, what are your fears? Are you, you know, like try to get to the root of it. And, you know, and then and like, so my cat, if the challenge pack is just not in the budget, that's okay. We have amazing programs. And if they just do a program, they're going to get great results. And if they're in a challenge group, then the next month, they're going to see the results that everybody else is having because they added Shakeology into their meal plan. And they're going to be like, oh, okay. And then they'll get it. They would have saved money if they would have bought it together, but they're going to get it. You know what I mean? So, you know, I wouldn't, like, if someone just isn't ready to buy the challenge pack, okay, I will absolutely get you started with the program and get you started on your journey. And then along the way, we'll make little, you know, we'll add Shakeology if you need to. We'll add Energize, whatever. Yeah. But she just needs to add the value, and she needs to find out what their apprehensions are and concerns are. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Long-winded. I'm sorry. Anybody else? No? Okay. Well, you know what? I'm going to stop the recording. Well, you guys know where I'm at. Go to the Rebel Squad page and tag me if you have any questions. You can ask your coach. You can send me a private message. I don't care. Just, you know, let's go out and kill it, guys. You can just know that as a coach, you can do anything that you want to do, and the sky is the limit. And, you know, you really can achieve everything that you want to achieve, be in the best shape that you want, and achieve, you know, the life that you want to live, and it's all in your control. So just remember that. Okay?